All right, so let's start off with just saying who you are and what you're doing on the movie set.
My name is Mike Maguire, and I co-wrote the film with Rowett. And on the set, I've been the script supervisor.
Cool, and it's the last day. So any recollections, reminiscing that that you're thinking about today, or you want to relay?
It's just been really fun. The cast, everyone we've met has been so nice, and I think it's because a lot of it is who Roe chose to work with, but it's also if someone is into film enough that they're willing to give up their weekends for not really any pay, then they're going to have the right attitude anyway. So everyone's going along great and had a great time.
So how many films have you written before this?
I've written a novel years and years ago. I'd written a lot of short stories and stuff. I had written some just attempts at shorter screenplays, but this is the first thing that I've been involved with that I've written or co-written that's actually been filmed.
And so being that it's the last day, what are you thinking? What's going through your head?
I'm excited to see what Roe does with the editing and post-production, and the footage is already like more than I expected it to be. There are scenes that when we were writing it, they've come out just the way we were visualizing it, or even better.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever told you, but it's certainly, like I said, I've worked on probably 43 films at this point, and this is one of my favorite scripts, and I'm talking all the way up to $35 million movies, I mean, it's just so simple but complex, and I think that's a very important piece for an independent film, especially not to try to jam too much stuff. Most people try to jam too much stuff, so I'm very impressed and really love the screenplay. I think that you guys really have something here. I can't wait to see it also. You have any stories about getting it made that maybe you thought it wasn't going to get made, or anything that you want to talk about Roe or?
Yeah, for sure. Roe came to me in the middle of last summer and said, "Hey, I've got this camera, and the video I can make it look like a film. So I want to make a movie now. Let's write something." So we started writing, and that was a really fun process. And it was really exciting, just for the sake of writing. It was exciting coming up with a story, writing scenes, and that by itself was really fun. But then, at months later, when we'd finished the script and we pretty much locked it down what it was going to be, there was this hang time where, you write a screenplay, is it actually going to get made? And then I was like really stressed out that I'd invested all this time. Yeah, you want me to wait?
We can just start off that.
Yeah.
Just restart there. You should get now.
So then months after we finished writing it, or after we pretty much were done with it, I wasn't working on too much more anymore. There was a time when, is it actually going to get made? Because there's so much to actually to actually get done. There was so much, I had doubts about it. Would he able to get any money for it? Would we be able to find people to work on it, to find actors and everything? So that really stressed me out in a lot of ways, because I just invested all this time working on it. But I was never worried about Roe himself, because I knew he'd treat me right. And one thing about Roe is, if he decides he wants to get something done, he'll get it done. He's with his bands, with his previous films, his short films and everything, he'll actually get it done. So now when production started, and it's been really awesome to see it actually coming together, and it kind of blows my mind that we've pretty much shot the whole thing now.
So how do you know Roe? How did you guys get?
We met. It was 2002, so we met almost 9 years ago now, And we met online because we were both fans of a band called Sunny Day Real Estate 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And this guitarist from Sunny Day Real Estate had started a website for artists. And we both joined that website just as artists. I was a writer, he was like a young filmmaker. And I was writing like the weekly column or whatever for the site. And when the first time he looked at the site, it was my movie review of M. Night Shyamalan's Signs that he read. I still remember he IM'd me and just introduced himself. We started talking about movies and stories. And so we knew each other online for years, and then we met in person.
So what was the website?
It was Art Conspiracy, and it's still up. There's not, it's not too active, not too used anymore, but it's, it had at one point a really thriving little artist community.
Did you, in the casting process, did you guys make any concessions, like you were really trying to find a certain type of person, but you couldn't quite find them? And if so, looking back on that, how did that turn out?
We didn't make any concessions as far as like quality of the actors. Ro was very open-minded to like Ruth being of any ethnicity, and that would mean her brother too, and her parents, and we were all, I was too. We were open-minded for any of the parts. We weren't thinking about race or anything like that, but when we had the casting calls and the auditions, it was limited as far as who showed up and who was available. So I wouldn't really call that a concession. It's how it worked out. But as far as like quality of the actors, like the quality of the actors for a low budget indie film was more than we could have asked for.
Cool. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts? I don't know. I'm really excited to see what comes of it, and I know like you can never predict how a movie will do in almost any sense, but I feel really confident that years from now there will be someone that just loves this movie, and there will be people out there that really likes this movie, whether it ever did much or anything, because it is a unique story and there is like so much heart poured into it. I think it will at least affect some people. So
nice. Cool.